The Rome International Film Festival, located in Rome, Georgia, is a unique hub that offers a place for filmmakers and other forms of creative arts to shine. This independent nonprofit organization works with local artists and filmmakers to create an incredible environment for storytellers around the world to share their works with the community. Because of its international connections, the festival not only accepts films from the local communities as well as with people from all around the world. During the festival, downtown Rome comes to life as people from all around come to experience the variety of events that RIFF has to offer. From panels, film viewings, and even late night after parties, celebrity guests and industry professionals arrive to talk about their work and provide information to aspiring filmmakers about the industry. Directors show their movies and feature film showings and talk about their process of the film's creation. The festival also works alongside local schools to provide opportunities to get involved through volunteering, as well as young filmmaking competitions. This incredible festival provides the opportunity for young filmmakers to with industry professionals and make connections in the film world. The festival greatly benefits the community by bringing in people from all around who visit in many stores and restaurants in Rome between events. It has benefited the film industry in Rome and created a diverse film culture within the community. The Rome International Film Festival allows for stories from all kinds of people to be shared, showing a diversity in culture, interest, ideals, and creativity.
Should we do a RIFF documentary?
I am okay with that because I love more than anything the power of a story. And films and digital media, that's what they are doing, is telling stories about our communal existence as humans. And that's what I want to do. And so the closer I can be to something like that, the happier I am. The impact is when you find a kid that sees a story that reflects their experience and they feel more like themselves, that's a wonderful thing. When you see an issue that's being told with intelligence and verve on the screen, and people can also talk about that issue a little more freely once they've seen the film and it's affected them, that's another wonderful thing. It's also just great as an economic engine, as a thing to do on a Friday night. So RIFF has a lot of really great qualities and a lot of really great facets to it, some that are far reaching and some that are just immediate and small, but all of them important. I think that we are far more than just that sort of entertainment. We are fun, and nobody ever said they didn't need, fun in their lives. But I think that what we do too is we generate economic income for the city. We usually bring between $350,000 to $500,000 a year in one weekend to the downtown merchants of Rome. And that means people are staying, they're eating, they're shopping, they're just hanging out in Rome, and they're spending their little dollars to help improve our fabulous community. So that's a great thing. We're also important to students. We provide internships through the various colleges in town, and there are 4 fabulous ones, and we're involved with each one of them. We also provide students with the opportunity to meet and spend time with working professionals when we do the Georgia Highlands Student Film Academy, and that's really important too, because we have seen through surveys before and after, and this is to juniors and seniors in high school, by the way, in this region. That's who we do the Film Academy for. We have seen that they say, yes, I am more interested in a career in film. I think I could probably do it. I could see myself in this world, and that's super important. And then, we also want to be fun for the local people. I live in this town. I love to hear people say that they're definitely planning on being at RIFF this year because it's one of the most fun events.
I'm Monica Shepard, and I own Cecil T's Mercantile on Broad Street. You can say mercantile or mercantile. So I actually have been, in the past, I'm not anymore, the graphic designer for the materials for RIFF almost from the very beginning. And so I've been involved with the festival for a really long time. But then I joined the board and then became secretary of the board and spent 1 year as president of the board as well. I have always loved this event for the opportunity for local people to get a window on the world that they might not otherwise experience. I've always struggled with the fact that I feel like people don't recognize the opportunity that it offers. It's just such an incredible inspiration for me. Every year there are films that inspire me for how I see the world and how I see the people around me. RIFF is a grassroots effort that I feel does a tremendous job of, as I said, introducing people to the world around them, but also introducing the world to Rome. You know, we always have people come from all over the place who leave loving our town. And so I think it's important to include that side of the story, the amount of influence that that event has had on people's perspective on Rome.
I first got involved with RIFF probably the second year or so that the Musselwhites were involved. Laura Musselwhite and I worked together at GHC, and I ended up volunteering and volunteered for a couple of years and then took a break. And when Seth took over and they brought him in, we ran into one another in the hall because we worked together at Georgia Highlands. And he said, hey, I want you to come be part of the festival. And that was that. And next thing I knew, I was, on the board and then vice president and past president and still hanging around. RIFF means culture, it means arts, it means community. That's one of my favorite things about RIFF is the community. I've had the chance over the years to get to meet so many really awesome people, folks that I would not have encountered otherwise, that come here to Rome. I've been able to go other places and interact with these folks because of RIFF. And I think, sometimes we overlook that in the community and we don't realize how valuable it is to have folks come to our community, spend their time, spend their money, but also bring their culture and their ideas and their art with them and just be in community with one another.
Rome is coming up here and seeing art that I don't have access to any other place. Like I've been on the documentary board a few years, and the documentaries that I've been able to watch and the stories that I've heard here are stories that you cannot find them anywhere else. And meeting these people that are coming up and telling their experience, it's lovely.
You come up here, it's got a great program, great films, documentaries, shorts, animated, people from all over the world. It really is an international film festival. And I think it's just, right now, it's still growing. It hasn't really even reached what it will eventually be. I think besides just the appreciation for filmmakers and giving them a platform to show their creations, because a lot of these films we won't see. This is the only place that you can see them. So besides just giving that appreciation, because it's hard, making a movie is hard, and having a place where you can showcase your work, besides that, it's just what art gives a community, I think is something that nothing else can give a community. And when you come up here for RIFF and the whole entire town is out amongst the filmmakers, appreciating these things that people have created, it brings a community together. Art brings a community together like nothing else. Art is special, it should be appreciated more, and that's why I appreciate RIFF so much.
This was the very first festival that I have ever been to, the first festival that I volunteered at, the first festival that I attended as a filmmaker, so it did give me a lot of, I want to say experience for other festivals that I've been to, and it was really fun and made me excited for more opportunities to come in the future.
RIFF has been a fantastic networking opportunity for me and everyone else that I've met. You're able to come here and meet fantastic people with amazing minds and people who are able to get you work as well. It's truly amazing. RIFF is a super fun festival. Everyone's always super nice. The parties are fantastic. The food is great. Everyone's always so energetic. The films are wonderful. All right. Once again, people are wonderful. I mentioned that twice. It's truly just super fun. It's super fun. I come here every year now. Whether I'm close by, whether it's an inconvenience or not, I will always be here every single year.
It's very fun. I enjoy it every single year, and I just recommend it for every filmmaker who's even starting out or a filmmaker who's been doing this for years. It's just a great festival to be at.
RIFF is incredibly important just from a creative outlet to give people an opportunity to kind of showcase their talents, learn about new ways of doing things, and to bring things to the community. I also think RIFF is incredibly important to a community like Rome, because we're on the sort of periphery of Atlanta, which, as we all know, is kind of the film and television hub now. And we would love to have some of that trickle outside of the big city to come to Rome, where we can utilize a lot of things that we have here. Not just, actors and locations, but bringing things like RIFF to Rome and bringing the film and television community here. It impacts, VRBOs. It impacts people that do hair and makeup. It impacts caterers, our craft service folks, people that do voiceover, people that drive shuttles. So outside of a humongous creative component, it's an unbelievable economic driver too for a community like Rome. To RIFF, because I enjoy just being around artistic people. The film and television industry is always so unique and so creative and kind of quirky that it's just fun to be around those creative individuals. Plus, it's really fun to see unique artwork that's being created by students, by seasoned veterans, and just kind of get to immerse yourself in that and see a little bit of everything that's going on in this industry. I think the RIFF impact, just from a creative standpoint, is huge. There's film festivals all over the world, but this is a unique film festival that is in a smaller community that gives people an opportunity to submit films and shorts and documentaries and a little bit of everything, and maybe not have to jump through as many hoops as like a Sundance or a Tribeca or Cannes or anything like that. So it gives really unique creative individuals an opportunity to submit their artwork. Again, I think the impact of RIFF to Rome specifically is hugely impactful from an economic standpoint, because again, I think there's a lot of things that people don't understand about the film and television industry. It's not just the actors and all of the big fanfare. It trickles down. It's drivers, it's the hotels, it's the restaurants, it's the downtown businesses, it's individuals that do hair and makeup. It's a very much a trickle-down industry, and it's hugely impactful for communities like Rome, Georgia. There's already evidence of how amazing RIFF is. I mean, we're already seeing the impact of having a festival like this. I mean, we've got Stranger Things coming here. We've got houses in the community being used for movies. We've got our downtown Rome being used for films. I think the impact of RIFF on Rome has been unbelievable.
I got involved with RIFF after meeting a friend of mine who introduced me to Leanne Cook, who is the director of this film festival. And Leanne just is so passionate about this, and it's so important to this community. So I really wanted to be a part of it and just help, bring in people if I could, and just support the film festival. I came to the film festival this year to speak on a panel about my podcast, and also just to support the other arts. I'll be going to a premiere of a movie and doing a couple of other events. So it's right in my backyard, and I just really wanted to get involved with it. I would love to see a lot of people from all over, from LA, New York, and even internationally come to know this film festival as a place where they'd like to showcase their work, because it's a small town, but it's a very artsy, creative town, and I think it makes the perfect place for a film festival.
The Rome Film Festival was an opportunity that I didn't know I was a part of until Agbar, our director from the Hummingbrows, mentioned that they were really highlighting Latinos, and that is not often heard of in the film industry, so I was really excited that they had created this opportunity for that minority group to shine, and I was all about showing up and being a part of it. again, highlighting a niche group that isn't really kind of a standout group in other places. And so getting that opportunity to tell my story, being looked at as a Latino woman in film, I knew it was too special to pass up, so that's why I would love if they saw how caring and lovely the community is in accepting anyone and everyone and showing them that here, their voice, their story, their film matters.
I think it's really important that people realize that great storytelling can come from anywhere. And I believe that there's an authenticity here in Georgia, particularly in Rome, where people come to really tell their own stories. Not from an elevated place, but from a really authentic place. And I think that there's going to be kind of a fresh sense of storytelling coming from here. You know, tonight we saw Bob Trevino likes it, and I think what resonated with people is the honesty and the power of a great story. This was not a big budget film. This was just beautiful storytelling. And so I think that that can happen here. I think that it resonated with audiences because people, great stories are great stories stay with us. So I think that's going to happen here, and it already is, because just the response from all the filmmakers and the aspiring artists that were in the audience, I could tell that something's being stirred up here. It's exciting.
These smaller footholds are really important because it gives voice to local people, and they may not feel like their stories are represented in the way that they're used to hearing them or the way that they want to hear them, and it gives you a new flavor because America's a big place, and so it's nice to hear different people and different points of view and sort of open yourself up to something new. A festival that's welcoming to artists, and it doesn't feel so overwhelming and huge. It feels personal, like a handwritten letter. You don't do that anymore, but when you get one, it's like, oh, this is so nice. It's so personal, and so I think that's what it is. RIFF is like a nice quality handwritten letter.
There's so many film festivals now, there's few that stand out like this one. And I mean that in a way that the programmers know what filmmakers like and how they respond to it, and what gets them excited about it. And so it goes into the whole programming team as well, and volunteers. And so it's something that at least the best I can do is spread the word about it. You can have the biggest film festivals in the world, and that festival doesn't penetrate the city. It cares about filmmakers, but they have so many things going on that it's not as personalized as some of the smaller ones can be. And you can have a smaller one and they still don't know how to do that right. So it's, all I can do is brag about it and how they're doing it really right here.
The movie Bang Bang, in which I appear, was playing, and I came here to support that. And then they also gave me the Flannery O'Connor Storytelling Award, and I have always idolized her. She had a big influence on me, and so for two reasons I came down here. I think that first and foremost, there are fewer and fewer opportunities for people to see art films in movie theaters. And festivals have become the venue for that, because they show them in movie theaters to strangers in the dark, 14 feet high with great sound, the way that those of us who spend our lives making movies want them to be seen. And at festivals, you're ensured the opportunity that your movie is going to be seen there. A jewel of a regional festival in the United States. And I think if RIFF keeps on doing what it's doing, it could be the Sundance of the South.
Yes, we're going to edit it.